I think this is cool. This is something different I never knew about. TV on. Who would think? First I'm going to go through what's sold. I have about 5 cards, but I did sell some overnight, and I'll give you the total here in a second. Once I do the what's sold, we're going to get into the special topic. This is one I never knew about. And when you are talking to other postcard sellers, so John from Popeye's Postcards has been selling postcards since 1998 or somewhere around there. They call him the OG of postcards. You want to check out his channel, and I got a link for his channel below. He has a YouTube channel. He has a real good course or presentations on walking through how he does postcards and all the history and stuff like that. So you want to check that out and learn from him on there. But one of the things I like to do is go when John's selling on Whatnot and stuff like that, he's always talking about things. And one thing came up one day, and I think this is, remember where I heard it, he said TV on. And I go, what is that? What it is people look for postcards of motel rooms where the TV is turned on. So we're going to talk about that and see what they do. It's kind of a different spin on collecting postcards. Then I have a poll I put out there. Do you sell on Whatnot? Whatnot is that live auction site. I've done it. I'm part of it. But let's see what people say. The sellers on here, how many actually do it, and the reason, probably some of the reason why they don't. And then I got 4 viewer comments to walk through where I actually answer from viewers and stuff like that. But let's go ahead and get started on these what sold. This shouldn't take no time at all. I packed up a whole bunch of cards last night because I do make 2 trips in December and January to the post office, so I don't have all those. I had a total of 11 cards, and I only had 5 more this morning, so I brought 6 to the post office before they closed yesterday. The first one that sold is just a print. This has got some information on here. This is a recovery of the USS Connie. Right there. USS Connie. And this sold for $4.55. It's just one of those prints that the club printed off on there. Now the next one is a naval ship cover, and it's a pretty unique one. And it was one of the first ones that I actually put up. And this sold for a little bit more. I think it sold for like $7 or something. But it's a really different one. These are called cachets. I learned that from Tom, Dear Doctor postcard expert. Those are called cachets. But look at that card. It's got some nice stamps on there and stuff. And this is for U.S. Fleet Navy Day. So this is kind of a special one. So I did price it up, and they go, but people will send envelopes to ships, and the ships will stamp them with stuff and send them back. Or if they send any mail off of there. So that's a cover. And that will go eBay standard envelope. The next one actually sold. This was in my box. I think I listed it around 2019. I thought it would do more, but it just sat there. $4.55 to $5, and I sold it for. It's a light bulb. I'll divide it back. Usually these go for a lot more, but there's a lot of these out there. So this only sold between $4 and $5, and that's been in my store forever. Next one is the Golden Gate. Lionsgate Bridge connects Vancouver to North Shore Narrows. The entrance to Vancouver Island. Vertical card, up and down, chrome. Sold for $4.55. And the last one is a card from that special collection. Those 8 albums that I bought for like $1,200 on there. And this came out of the first album, album 1. This is the railroad station in Statsburg, New York. And this sold for $15.55. Nice divided back card earlier. They say if the line is moved to closer, it would be, if you're looking at it, to your left on there, it's an earlier divided back. I can't confirm that. I just heard it a few times on there. So if that line is closer to the left, they say it's an earlier divided back. I don't know. Does anybody out there know if it's true? I go with it. It sounds good to me. But that's a railroad station, sold for $15.55. So that card is from album 1. So check out that collection on there. But all the cards that I sold, between the ones I brought to the post office last night and the ones I just showed you, today it was 5 cards for $40, and total for the day was 11 cards for $80. One of the reasons I do the what sold is so when you go, and I do all these different topics, when you go and look in a box of cards, you can get overwhelmed. You can get 800 cards in a box and you're flipping through them. People say, what do you look for? All these videos will give you an idea what to look for, and just pull them out. And then so the first pass you go through, you find all the ones you know. Second pass, you go a little deeper. Third pass, you go through. And then you got a stack of cards to look through and say, yeah, I'll keep that. No, I don't keep that. And that's how I do it. That's how quickly you can go through a box of cards. Will you miss some one time? Sure. You're not going to catch everything. But that's what all these do, is to show you what people are buying and what you can do when you go and you find a basket of cards, a box of cards, or album of cards. If you can look through it and spot enough to get your money back, then I think I succeeded in that. Let's get into the special topic. I've been wanting to do this for a while because I was excited when I heard this. I had to dig a little bit more. But John from Popeye's Postcards, during a conversation, I think it's on one of his Whatnot shows, was talking about TV On. Caught my attention. What is that? It's basically any postcards, and I got some here that I've been holding out. So it's any postcards of a motel that has the TV right there in the room, and the TV is on. So people actually buy postcards and collect postcards of motels with the room where the TV is on. And that's one right there. And then this one, now if you look at this one, the TV is not on. Even though it's a lighter screen, there's nothing on there. I would say that one is not on. So you want to be careful. Just because they have a TV and a light on it, you don't see any figures on that TV there. So that wouldn't be on. And then same with this one. This is a Holiday Inn card, multi-view Holiday Inn card. And that TV right back there, I think that's where it is not on. So the one that was on, you can see right there, there's somebody on the screen. So that's what they mean by TV on. So people will collect those, and as I go through my motel cards now, I'm actually looking to see if the TV's on. Does it give you any more money? We'll find out. But I got a whole bunch of them I found that I'm going to show here while I talk through some facts. Now, I couldn't find any facts about TV On collecting postcards for TV On. It's just not out there that I found. But I will talk a little bit about motel rooms and TVs and some facts, like I normally do, while the pictures roll by. So in 1947, the Roosevelt Hilton in New York City became the first hotel in the world to install televisions in guest rooms. Dean Carpenter, at the time the hotel's general manager, initially introduced televisions to 40 of the rooms on the property. Guests using the televisions were charged $3 per day extra for service. And in 1947, $3 is a lot of money, I think. So in 1947 is when they first hotel put TVs in. Now a little timeline here on a few things. 1894, the Netherland Hotel in New York City introduces the first in-room telephones. So that was in 1894, telephones in the rooms. 1910, electricity begins to become widely prevalent in hotels. And in 1910, first hotel in-room bathrooms introduced at the Gorin Hotel in London. Wow, how far have we come? The first hotel room in 1927, radios became available in every guest room at the Hotel Statler, Boston. So they had a radio in every room in 1927. We've come a long way. It's 2022. Take a lot of stuff for granted these days. And everybody knows what pay-per-view is. If you grew up in my thing, it was a big thing back in the day, and you pay-per-view for the prize fights and stuff like that. Well, there was a little thing back in the day called telemeter. An early pay-per-view system used a coin-operated box attached to TV sets. Despite testing in both the United States and Canada, the system never made it past the experimental phase. So this company came out and said, how can we charge people to watch TV? Just like those quarters that in the beds in the old days, in the 50s and 60s, they had the beds in the rooms. If you put a quarter in, and they call it the magic fingers, You lay on the bed and it would vibrate and give you a relaxing sleep. And they had these little machines, you put a quarter or a dime in, and it would give you 10 minutes of massage. Well, they wanted to do that with TVs, the way I read this, telemeter. And what it would do is the signal coming into the TV would go through the box, and then it would go to the TV, and it would scramble the screen on the TV unless you put money in, and it would descramble it for an amount of time. They did a test on that in a bunch of places, and they turned it on, and then customers started calling and saying their TV's all scrambled. So they were doing something wrong when they were trying to test it. It just never worked the way they wanted it. A lot of people invested in it, and then they decided not to do it. So that was the first pay-per-view thing in the hotel rooms. They just couldn't get it to work, and it was called telemeter. There's more stuff on the web about that. With these postcards, John also talked about the trifecta. The trifecta would be something, let me see if I can get this one here. It would be like this one here. Now, this TV is not on, but just let's say this TV was on. The trifecta is you get a front view of the hotel, you get the room, and you get the TV, and then maybe the counter or something. You get three things on a card. And maybe John can jump in the comments and tell a little bit more about the trifecta, but you get three things like the sign, the hotel, and the room with the TV on would be what they call the trifecta. That's what the gold standard for a TV on postcard is. So if you have that, you want to make sure that's put out there as well for the people that look for those. TV on. You know, who collects these things? I didn't do a sell-through rate on these. Every time I tried to go out there and try to find and get some good data, I put postcard space, motel space, TV on. I got everything jumbled in there, motels, tickets, all this stuff, and I tried to clean it up and stuff, and I just could not get a good data. The data was just way too messy to try to get a good sell-through rate. But what I saw out there, I did find a couple solds, but I did find some listed as I picked through the listings that popped up. I don't think these are that sought after. I think they're a novelty. I think they're unique. I think it takes that special person or people that collect these, that know about them. And hopefully with this video, maybe it'll pump it up a little bit. There's not a lot of solds out there. There is a lot listed that says TV on. If you go into eBay and type in postcard space, TV space on, so postcard TV on, you're gonna see these. It is a thing. Believe me, it is a thing. So you want to go out there and look around, you're going to find TV on. Now, do they demand more money? Let's take a look. So I found two solds. Here's one here. Let's see, the TV is on. And I'll put it on the big screen so you can see it. Niagara Motel, Erie, Pennsylvania, 1960s cars, guest room, TV on postcard. So that's the word that I'm seeing is TV on. I see that in a lot of the titles. In the top right, you can see that TV, and the TV is on. $736, $1.65 shipping, so $9 card. Niagara Motel. You think the TV on sold it? Next one, Spring Lake, New Jersey postcard, the Chateau Motel, 1980s, roadside, TV on. So there you got a logo, the building, the room, and the hallway, and you got a TV on the bottom left side there. TV on. That sold for $3 free shipping. So one sold for about $9 total cost. The other one was $3. Does the place sell it as well as the TV on? Probably. So those are the two solds that I was able to pick out. But let's take a look and see what the things are listed for, and see if we can pick these out. This one here, Kissimmee, Florida Enterprise Motel, swimming pool, TV on, sink, postcard, sink. Why are they calling it sink? Sink. $19.95 they have it listed for, and we just saw one sold for $9 total, and the other one was $3. And the TV is on the left side there, my screen, up in the top, and it's on. Next one is postcard, Wildwood, New Jersey, Sunflower Motel, multi-view rooms, TV on. And there's the TV, top right. $15.99 our best offer. Laguna, Colorado Stagecoach Motel interior, TV is on, vintage postcard. Just a room view, and there's the TV. So all of those averaging about $15, $14, $15, and we've seen the ones that sold $9 and $3. Might be some tough sell, unless the motels are unique themselves. So what's selling these cards? TV on, or the motel name and city and stuff? Kind of hard to tell on these. But I just think this is cool. This is something different I never knew about. TV on. Who would think? But let's go take a look at what people are doing for listed. Low. White House Inn, Dearborn, Michigan. TV on. Yep. Top left. There it is. TV on. $3.95 free shipping. So $4. Postcard, the Aztec Motel, Seaside Heights, New Jersey. TV on. Bottom right in that picture there, TV on, $4.75. I think these are more in line. I think they might be able to get a little bit more for the motel cards. Maybe, you know, five to six instead of 4 to 5 and stuff. But better than $15 for a Chrome motel card, unless it's a special place. Then you get the bottom one, the last one, low one. Vintage postcard, McAllen, Texas, Paradise Motel, coffee shop, multi-view, TV on. There's the TV, top right. Now, is that TV on or is it off? So that's what you want to kind of see. If I don't see any characters on the screen, any black and white, you know, like fuzzy shadows and stuff, I don't think it's on, but I'm no TV on expert. So we're seeing cards selling between $4 and $9, so $5, $6. You're seeing people list them at the $14, $15 high, and then other people $3 to $4 there. So it's a good mix of prices and stuff. I just thought it was unique enough for collectors to go out and something to do, something unique when you're looking at the motel cards. See if you got TV on. Stick it in the title. There might be that one person out there that might pull that trigger and press that buy it now button, buy button. But I appreciate John bringing up his knowledge, his little tidbits. And I'm telling you, if you can get one thing out of these people, a lot of people with the knowledge of postcards or just selling all together, sometimes they don't know what to say because they take it for granted or they've done it for so long. But when they talk and you start having a conversation, stuff like this comes out and you say, whoa, wait a minute, what's TV on? And that's why I like having conversations like in the Whatnot chats and these other live chats out there on YouTube, is you pick up on something. But John, make sure you check out John at Popeye's Postcards. He's got a lot of good cards out there and a lot of knowledge. So check out his channel. He does a lot of what's sold, gets good prices for cards, and then on Whatnot, he's unloading a lot of his stock. You can get some great deals, stacks of 100 cards. He sells them by the pound. He's got some all different stuff, so a lot of good deals on Whatnot. So go follow John, Popeye's Postcards, on Whatnot as well. And if you're looking for some postcards, jump on there. You can get some pretty good deals on there. He's cleaning out a lot of his stock. He wants to get some new stuff coming in, so he's blowing it out. Go out there and buy a lot. I've bought a lot from him on Whatnot. TV on. Who knew? Now with these polls, you've been watching the channel for a while. Every Saturday I put a poll out on the community tab of the channel. And it's just a yes or no questions or something real simple. And you don't have to think to answer most of the time. And this is one of them. Do you sell on Whatnot? Whatnot is that site, live auction site. They started just with postcards, 6-8 months ago. And I did jump in, and I did it for a while. I'm still a member. I'm still signed in. I can sell on Whatnot. I'm approved. I don't sell on it anymore as often as I used to. Number one, I don't want to be tied to a schedule. Two, I'm not worried about the money because I was blowing cards out that I've had some overstock. I got rid of a bunch of older ones on there from my earlier boxes and stuff like that. But it just wasn't for me after a while. I'll probably do it again here and there, especially if I buy a lot of things and I want to blow them out. I'll probably do that. So I'll probably do one just to keep my ID there and I can sell. Because you never know when you get 10,000 postcards, you want to blow them out. You just never know stuff. Just another avenue. But John from Popeye's Postcards sells on there. A lot of other people do too, and there's some good deals. And then there's a lot of other people that sell Funko Pops and stuff like that. That's what Whatnot is. And so I put it out there. Do you sell on Whatnot? I want to know the sellers that watch this channel do that. Only 3% said yes. 87% said no. And thinking about it, 10%. A lot of people, sellers, jumped on it like I did in the beginning. Sold a lot of cards. I pushed a couple thousand cards through. Made some pretty good money. Then the dollar started tailing off a little bit and stuff like that. The newness wore off a little bit and novelty and went in there. So I've kind of laid off. A lot of people have just quit altogether. One of the biggest things is you go through inventory fast. You will burn through inventory. I figured out with the auctions I was doing, I would need to source and find 15 to 18,000 cards a year minimum just to do every week auction and for the auctions I was doing. Once I ran the numbers, the time, and all this other stuff that I was doing, setting it up, running the stuff, and doing all the different things, there was money there, but it was a lot more work. It didn't really fit into my workflow that I wanted. I didn't want to do that much on there. But that's how many cards you got to find the cards. And if they're not good cards, people might not buy them, and you might not get top dollar for them. So it is a lot of work. It's a lot of fun talking to people and selling and stuff like that. But I've decided to lay off a little bit and just keep doing what I'm doing with eBay on there. And I think I've noticed some of the comments from this poll was, I retired, no longer doing it, not worth it, too much work, yes, I love it, stuff like that. So it's in between. It's how you want to do things. My stage of what I'm doing, I just didn't want to be tied to a schedule and stuff like that. Whatnot I think is good. I think they need to work on their shipping a little bit and stuff like that, but it's growing, and it's a good place to move. Like John from Popeye said, they do all the back end work for you, and that's what he wanted the most, is to sell a lot of his stuff. Is they do the shipping, they track all the payments, and they take care of all that. Where you do like YouTube auctions, you got to chase people down and do all this stuff. John said he likes it because all the back end stuff, he's just got to sell postcards and then pack them and ship them. That's the good thing about Whatnot. Over like YouTube auctions or Yahoo auctions or whatever it was. So I can see that. So there's a lot of pros and cons to it. I would definitely, if you're sourcing postcards, go out there and check out Whatnot to buy postcards. You can get some really good deals on there and stuff like that. And majority of the sellers do a good job out there. I mean, you can find people selling postcards that for pennies or quarter of the price that you could sell it for. But you got to pick and choose. So that's the poll. Whatnot. Check it out. You want to sell on it? Make sure you got the inventory and the time. Comments. Viewer comments come from all over. I pulled about 4 of them today since I didn't have a lot on the other one. Postcard Shack Postcards. Mark, you are my numbers guy. I appreciate the averages and charts. Thank you for all the work you do. I'm a data-driven guy, as you know. It's just my background. It's what I do. It's how I'm wired. I try to back up everything I do with some kind of data instead of just opinion. I am opinionated into some things, and I will hold strong on those. But it's because it's been backed up by data. The more data you have, the better decisions you can make. Julie Norman, as many times as I have upside-down postcard images, no one says anything. This was talking about flipping postcards upside down. I've sold some like that. Just because you got some zoom ins and so, that's not going to be the one thing that sells everything. It takes all the best practices together to make a good, well-rounded business and store. But people will buy cards if they're upside down. It's not going to be the end of everything. But they still sell, and that's when I see it. I like Tuck's postcards. They usually have more value than the one similar subject without them. Yeah, Tucks are really cool postcards. I just don't do that well with them. I don't have a lot of them on there. But like she said, they're very well done. So if you want to get into tux, there's money there. It's just that they're like Thanksgiving cards and stuff like that for me just don't do that well. Probably because I don't know that much about tux as I should, I guess. But thanks, Julie, and thanks, Gary from Postcard Check. Michelle Trout, I absolutely love eBay standard envelope. I am always surprised when I hear of big sellers that do not use it. Me too. They don't want to change. People need to stop doing that. They need to go with the flow. They don't have, their way is not the only way. I'm hearing that a lot more. Do what you want to do, but I'm just telling people, try it. Be humble. I'm hoping to add photos of this as well. I would love that. Thanks for the great video. Yeah, photos I think is just maybe a size thing on there. eBay, you got to think about what eBay's got to do with that. Set some parameters and people will find loopholes and stuff. So I think it'll come. They did put the Navy ship covers that I do. That did get added on there. For a long time I couldn't do that. Thanks, Michelle. Buffo, I sold a postcard from Florida that was purported to be made from orange tree wood. This is about the birchwood bark postcard video I did. So he sold one from orange tree wood. Interesting. I think the front design was a crate of oranges, and I think it was postmarked 1905, if memory serves. I asked 40 and got 30. So $30 for an orange crate postcard. Good job, Biff. Those are fun to do. But keep putting the comments in. Got a lot more videos coming in 2023. A lot of unique things, again. And try to put a couple up a week when I can on there. But I appreciate everybody's time. And going into 2023 is going to be a lot of fun, guys. But with these motel cards, what popped in my head is a video I just did a couple weeks ago. Holiday Inn postcards. Check that video out. There's one postcard in there that's worth a lot of money. So when you're looking for Holiday Inn, you need to find that one card. I look for it all the time. You have a good day. Thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one.